Picture this. A man walks into a coffee shop wearing a faded t-shirt, jeans that have seen better days, and sneakers so ordinary you'd never give them a second glance. He orders a small black coffee, no oat milk latte with double caramel drizzle, and sits in the corner scrolling through his phone. Most people in that room probably assumed he was just average, maybe middle class, maybe even struggling. But here's the twist. That same man could very well be worth millions, quietly, and nobody would know. Now, here's the paradox. We live in a world where wealth is often associated with visibility, flashy cars, designer clothes, luxury vacations, Instagram-worthy lifestyles. But the real financial freedom, it's often hidden, invisible, practiced by the people who don't look rich at all. And that's what I want to talk about today. Stealth wealth, the hidden path to financial freedom. By the end of this video, you'll see why true wealth is rarely broadcast, how ordinary-looking habits can quietly build extraordinary riches, and why the people living the most secure and free lives are usually the ones you'd never expect. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's unravel this hidden path together. Let's be honest. When most of us picture a millionaire, our minds instantly pull up images of celebrities, rappers dripping in gold chains, or influencers showing off yachts in Dubai. But here's the surprising truth. The majority of real millionaires, self-made, everyday millionaires, don't fit that picture at all. In fact, one of the most eye-opening studies about this comes from the book, The Millionaire Next Door. It found that most millionaires don't live in Beverly Hills or drive Lamborghinis. Instead, they live in modest neighborhoods, drive reliable cars, and shop at regular grocery stores like the rest of us. They blend in. They hide their wealth. Why? Because they're not chasing the appearance of wealth. They're chasing the freedom that wealth provides. Think about this for a second. If you see someone driving a brand new luxury car, what's the first thought that pops into your mind? Probably, wow, they must be doing well. But the truth? That car could be leased. Their savings account could be on life support. They might be drowning in debt just to keep up appearances. Meanwhile, the person driving a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla might have their mortgage fully paid off, 6 figures quietly compounding in investments, and zero financial stress keeping them awake at night. So here's the first big secret of stealth wealth. It's not about what you show, it's about what you own. I'll tell you a quick story. I once met a man at a small community event. Super down-to-earth guy, khaki shorts, baseball cap, nothing fancy. We got to talking, and eventually he mentioned almost in passing that he retired at 45. No fanfare, no flex, just casual. Turns out, he had been saving aggressively since his 20s, maxing out his retirement accounts and investing every spare dollar instead of upgrading cars or chasing status symbols. While his friends were busy trying to look successful, he was busy becoming free. That's stealth wealth in action. Nobody suspected it, and honestly, that's the point. Now let's pause and ask the question. Why would someone want to hide their wealth? Isn't the whole point of becoming rich to show it? Here's the paradox again. The very act of showing wealth, buying the fancy car, flaunting designer clothes, living in the biggest house, often traps people in a cycle that keeps them from ever achieving true freedom. The more you show, the more you spend. The more you spend, the less you keep. The less you keep, the harder freedom becomes. Stealth wealth flips that equation. By keeping your lifestyle modest, even when your bank account says you can afford much more, you give yourself a massive advantage. The power of choice. Choice to walk away from a job you hate. Choice to take a 6-month sabbatical. Choice to retire early, or pursue passion projects without worrying about the bills. That's the hidden path. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine 2 neighbors. Neighbor A drives a shiny BMW, lives in a house with marble countertops, and posts glamorous vacation photos every year. But behind the scenes, they're stressed. Credit cards are maxed, mortgage payments eat up most of their paycheck, and they secretly dread every unexpected expense. Neighbor B drives a Honda Civic, lives in a cozy but modest home, and rarely posts anything flashy online. From the outside, they look ordinary. But behind the scenes, their savings account is stacked, they've got investments growing quietly, and when their boss starts acting unreasonable, they know they could walk away tomorrow without fear. Now tell me, who's actually wealthy? That's the essence of stealth wealth. And the beauty of it is you don't need a massive income to start walking this path. You don't need to be an investment genius or a Silicon Valley founder. What you need is intentionality. Most people chase external validation. They want the world to see their success. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The world isn't paying as much attention to you as you think. And the people you're trying to impress, they're probably trying just as hard to impress someone else. So what if you opted out of that game entirely? What if you redefined wealth not as things you own, but as freedom you control? Here's where the everyday examples come in. Instead of upgrading your phone every year, you hold on to it until it actually stops working. Instead of dining out 4 nights a week, you cook simple meals at home most nights and treat eating out like the special occasion it should be. Instead of blowing your bonus on designer shoes, you quietly funnel it into an index fund. These aren't flashy moves. Nobody claps when you skip the latest iPhone upgrade. But guess what? Each of those choices builds stealth wealth. Every dollar you don't spend on flexing becomes a soldier working for your future freedom. And here's something else most people don't realize. Stealth wealth also comes with a layer of safety. Think about it. If everyone knows you're rich, you attract attention, expectations, sometimes even envy. Friends may ask for loans, family members may expect handouts, and strangers may target you for scams. But if nobody suspects you're wealthy, you get to enjoy your freedom and peace. You blend in. You move through the world without a neon sign over your head saying Target, that quiet protection, priceless. So let's bring this down to you. You don't need to be a multimillionaire to start practicing stealth wealth. You can start now, with the decisions you make today. Drive the reliable car, not the flashy one. Choose experiences over status symbols. Invest quietly, save consistently, and let compounding do its magic in the background. One day, while others are still trying to climb the social ladder, you'll already be free. And nobody will even see it coming. That's the hidden path. Now here's the thing most people underestimate. Stealth wealth isn't just about saving money. It's about flipping the script on what success looks like. Think about how we were raised. From childhood, we're shown that success equals having the biggest house on the block, the newest car in the driveway, and the latest gadgets in our pockets. We've been fed this picture-perfect image of the American dream, or whatever version of it your culture promotes. But here's the trap. When you start measuring success by what's visible, you're already playing the wrong game. The hidden path, the stealth wealth path, measures success by what's invisible. Your peace of mind, your freedom of time, the fact that you can wake up tomorrow and not panic if your paycheck disappears. That's wealth, and it doesn't need a spotlight. Let me tell you a story loop here. A friend of mine, we'll call him James, used to be obsessed with appearances. He always had the latest phone, the designer sneakers, the flashy car. He was that guy everyone assumed was killing it financially. But behind the curtain, he was buried in debt. The credit cards, the loans, the constant juggling just to keep the image alive, it was suffocating him. Now here's where it gets interesting. James finally hit a wall. One day his car broke down and he couldn't even afford to fix it. That's when he realized he looked rich, but he was broke. That was his breaking point. I'll come back to James in a bit because what he did next will make you rethink how you're living right now. But let's pause on that tension and talk about a mindset shift. Most people assume that stealth wealth means you're living a boring, joyless life. That if you're not spending big, you must be depriving yourself. But that's not true at all. It's not about deprivation, it's about deliberation. Imagine this, 2 people go out to dinner. One orders the $200 bottle of wine because it looks fancy on Instagram. The other orders a $40 bottle of wine because they actually like the taste. Who's really enjoying themselves? Stealth wealth is choosing what genuinely makes you happy, not what makes you look happy to others. And let's be real, half the time, the people you're trying to impress aren't even paying attention. Here's a little curiosity spark. Have you ever noticed that the people who brag the most about money usually have the least of it? The loudest flexers are often the ones struggling behind the scenes. Meanwhile, the quietest person in the room, the one you'd never suspect, could be the wealthiest. Why? Because real confidence doesn't need an audience. That's the second layer of stealth wealth. Your life becomes yours again. You stop living for other people's approval, and you start living for your own peace. Remember James from earlier? After his financial meltdown, he completely changed course. He sold the luxury car and bought a used Toyota. He stopped upgrading his phone every year and learned how to cook at home. At first, his friends mocked him. Dude, what happened? Why are you living so cheap? But here's the kicker. A few years later, James had paid off every dime of his debt. He had savings in the bank. He even started investing quietly. And while his friends were still playing the same look-rich game, James was buying his freedom back piece by piece. Today, he lives in a modest house, drives that same Toyota, and has the kind of financial cushion that lets him sleep like a baby at night. Nobody suspects it, and honestly, he likes it that way. Now let me hit you with a reflective question. If tomorrow, nobody could see your car, your clothes, your house, or your Instagram feed, what would wealth look like for you? Would it still be the same luxury purchases? Or would it be the feeling of being debt-free? The calm of knowing you can walk away from a toxic job, the ability to say yes to an opportunity because money isn't a chain around your ankle? That's the stealth wealth perspective. Let's use another analogy. Building stealth wealth is kind of like planting a garden. When you first start, it looks like nothing is happening. You're out there watering dirt while everyone else is buying bouquets from the florist and posting them online. They look glamorous, you look kind of boring. But give it time, their flowers wilt in a week. Your garden, meanwhile, keeps growing. Season after season it multiplies, and before long you've got something that not only looks good, but also feeds you. Wealth works the same way. Flexing is temporary. Quiet building is permanent. And here's where it gets practical, because I know what you're thinking. Okay, I get the philosophy, but how do I actually do this? Start with the basics. Live below your means, even when your income grows. If you get a raise, don't automatically upgrade your lifestyle. Upgrade your savings rate instead. Build an emergency fund so that surprise expenses don't wreck your peace of mind. Invest quietly, consistently, and patiently. Index funds, retirement accounts, or whatever works for your context. It's boring, but boring builds wealth. Notice what's missing? There's no magic stock pick, no crypto gamble, no get-rich-quick scheme. That's because stealth wealth isn't about chasing fast money, it's about building lasting money. And I want to loop in one last tension point here. If you don't practice stealth wealth, what's the alternative? It's the hamster wheel. The constant chase, the stress of always trying to look like you've made it, while deep down you know you haven't. Most people stay on that wheel forever. They spend every dollar they earn trying to look rich, but they never feel rich. And by the time they realize it, decades are gone. But you? If you take the stealth wealth path, you step off the wheel, you start walking your own hidden path, and while everyone else is still running in circles, you're already free. So let me leave you with this image. Imagine walking into that same coffee shop from the beginning. Same faded t-shirt, same old sneakers, same quiet corner seat. But this time you know something nobody else in the room does. You're free. No one claps for you. No one notices. But you don't need them to. Because wealth isn't about noise. It's about choice. And that choice, that's stealth wealth. Remember James, the friend who traded the flashy lifestyle for freedom? Here's how that story ended. The same people who once teased him for living cheap now come to him for advice. They're still stuck in the grind, still worried about bills, still chained to jobs they can't leave. But James, he's proof of something powerful, that small, boring choices repeated quietly over time transform into extraordinary freedom. That's the hidden truth of stealth wealth. It doesn't arrive with a drum roll, it doesn't need a spotlight. It grows in the background like compound interest itself, until one day you realize you're not just surviving anymore, you're free. And maybe that's the deepest paradox of all. The less you try to look rich, the faster you actually become wealthy. Because wealth isn't a number in your bank account, it's the life that number makes possible. It's the peace of knowing you don't owe anyone. It's the power of walking away from noise and drama because your stability doesn't depend on them. It's the quiet confidence of choosing your time, your energy, your path. That's a kind of wealth no flex can ever buy. So if you take just one thing from this whole conversation, let it be this. Real freedom doesn't happen in grand gestures. It's built in small, invisible habits. The meals you cook instead of buying out, the car you keep driving instead of upgrading, the paycheck you save instead of flaunting. Those little acts don't feel heroic in the moment, but stacked together, day after day, year after year, they create something priceless. A life where money works for you, not the other way around. And here's my challenge for you. Next time you're tempted to buy something just to impress, pause. Ask yourself, am I buying freedom, or am I buying an image? That single question can change your financial future. So where does this leave us? It leaves us with a choice. You can play the loud game of chasing status, or you can walk the quiet path of building freedom. One is noisy, expensive, and endless. The other is calm, deliberate, and life-changing. And the best part? Nobody has to know which one you chose, except you. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope this gave you something deeper than just financial tips. I hope it gave you perspective. If you found value here, consider subscribing. Not because I said so, but because this is just the beginning of our conversation. And if you want to keep going right now, I've got another video waiting for you. 7 signs you're secretly getting rich even if you don't feel it. It ties perfectly into what we talked about today, so click that next video, and let's keep walking this path together, quietly, powerfully, and on your own terms.